we go. We're definitely recording this time. So let's just start by definitely getting grounded. And we're just going to start here on our karate chop. Even though there is a part of me that may not be grounded today, I choose to feel grounded now. Even though a part of me is somewhere else, it's hard to stop thinking about everything I have to do. I choose to feel present now. Even though part of me isn't grounded and present, I've got other things I need to do. I choose to feel present now. Grounded into the room, into my body. I'm just not grounded. Too much going on. Just too much going on in my life. And I just can't stop thinking. Can't stop thinking. So it might be hard for me to focus now because it's just too much to do. Just too much to do. Too much to think about. Too much to worry about. So for this moment, I choose to let go. For this moment, I choose to feel present. I am feeling more and more present. Choosing to feel more and more grounded. Choosing to feel safe. Feeling so safe and grounded. Choosing to feel present. Choosing to feel present and grounded. Feeling more and more present in my body. More and more present with my thoughts. More and more present in my room. Grounded into my body. Choosing safety. Choosing calm. Choosing focus. Feeling so safe and grounded. Okay, just taking a nice deep breath. Shaking it off if you need to. I've gotten into a real habit of shaking things off between my tapping rounds. Seems to really help. Okay, so we're just starting this circle now with a little bit of self-awareness, and I invite you to grab out your journal or a piece of paper if you don't have a journal with you. And what I would like you to just make some notes on, and this is really just so we can bring this into the forefront of your mind and then start to desensitize the emotions with the tapping. I'd really like you to bring your awareness to where is your daily stress coming from? Where do you believe your daily stress is coming from? And I'll just give you a moment just to journal out, jot out anything that comes to mind. And just really allow yourself to let it flow with no judgment, no guilt. I know as a mum, when my kids are stressing me, but I feel so guilty saying that. Just acknowledging whatever you need to let out. And then having a bit of a think about what triggers you. Or do you even know what triggers you? And it's okay if you don't. What do you notice happens right before your stress? Is the stress random? Do you suffer more on some days than others, or is it pretty constant for you? It's really bringing in this awareness in this safe space to do that. Does it happen in certain circumstances more than other circumstances? Around certain people? And how long does it last for? Is it all day? Part of the day? Or are you just somebody who feels like you are always in a state of stress? And maybe your body is always in a state of stress. Do you remember when it started? How it started? And I really love this question. Can you remember a time in your life where you didn't have stress? Or is it something that you have always experienced for as long as you can remember at some level? And that's a really big one, because for you, doing your work on yourself, doing your inner healing, letting go of the triggers layer by layer by layer, if you have compassion and awareness for the fact that maybe you've actually been in this state since childhood, maybe it's been since you're a teenager, maybe it's been for the majority of your adult life, just having that compassion and awareness that it might take a little while to release, and that there are going to be multiple layers attached to that. So just before we start going back into our tapping, now we've brought our awareness into what is going on for us, I just want to ask you to do a quick SUDS rating, 0 to 10. Where is the stress sitting for you today? And if you want to pop in the comments as well, I'd love to know, where are you sitting right now so I can follow you over the next hour? From 0 to 10, what's your rating? 10 being the highest level of discomfort, 0 being not bothered at all. Okay. 4 today. Wonderful. All right. So let's get tapping. We're going to start with very, as I said, very generic wording. And I invite you to take the meaning of this, of all this stress, take this meaning of these words to everything that you just looked at in your life. Your amygdala is making the associations. Your brain knows what's happened for you. So let's start back up here on our eyebrow. All this stress. It's my stressful life. All this stress. My stressful life. Stress. 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 All this stress. Every day. Stress every day. All this stress. Daily stress. All my stress. All those things that I just thought about. Everything that's going on for me. Every single day. I get stressed about what I can control. I get stressed about what I cannot control. I get stressed about things that I should not control. I get stressed about things that are out of my control. Control keeps me safe, or so I think. Control also holds me stuck. Control holds me stuck. Every day. So much stress. Every day. all this stress, daily stress, all this stress, all my stress, every day, all the things I get stressed about, all the things that I stress about, all the stress, just too much, all this stress, the things that I can control, the things that I cannot control, the things that I should not control, all this stress. Okay, taking a break for a moment, taking in a nice deep breath. Big exhale, pushing out whatever you need to, and just checking in now again with your number. Has your stress gone up or down? And it is okay if it has gone up. It might mean something is surfacing for you and you might have a beautiful release today. So just noting your number, just observing it. Feel free to share that number with me if you'd like to. And we're going to go and do another global round. Back to the eyebrow, all this stress. My daily stress. 2, fantastic. I get stressed every day. I go to bed and I think that it's over. I go to bed and I think it will pass. But by the morning, I wake up and it's back. My stress returns in my head, in my body, every day. My daily stress seems to be no relief. No relief for me from my stress. All my stress. All my stress. My daily stress. I get stressed every day. Some days are worse than others. Some days it's mild. Some days really intense. But every day, it's never ending. Always something to deal with. Always something to stress about. Wish it would just leave me alone, give me a break. My daily stress. Every day. My daily stress. Every day. Why can't it just give me a break? Okay, and pausing again. Taking a deep breath. Shaking anything off that you need to. Stretching whatever it is you need to do. And just checking in again with your number. 0 to 10. Has your rating come down? When you think about your stress, when you think about everything that you journaled out earlier at the beginning of the session, just making a note of your number again. Now, I know that as you guys who are here today are aware of EFT and the effects that it does have on stress, but for the purpose of recording this lesson, I will just have a really quick chat about what happens to the body when it is undergoing constant stress. So the tiny part of your brain, your amygdala that controls your fight or flight response, which is also known as your stress response, will release a multitude of hormones and chemicals into your body. And this response can happen in a millisecond because your amygdala is constantly scanning for danger, constantly scanning for emotional associations. So in our modern day world where your amygdala can be triggered by an email, by a thought, by a song that's playing on the radio. I can give you an example of me the other week. I had a friend pass a couple of weeks ago, and the song that played at the funeral just came on the radio a few weeks after. And I had no idea at first why suddenly my heart was racing and why I was having this big emotional response in my body. And then I realized the song. So my amygdala had been scanning for danger, danger, danger. And it had picked up through my hearing sense that there was something that it had associated with me being unsafe. And so that is happening, and that response can happen within a millisecond. And the brain does not have any kind of perception between what is real and what is perceived in your mind. So you can see how in our modern world, it's actually really easy, really, really easy for your body to become stuck in a daily state of stress, because that fight or flight response, it has obviously the multitude of hormones, and we have physical responses that happen when the sympathetic nervous system kicks in. Our heart rate speeds up, our blood pressure rises, our digestion stops working properly, our sexual function ceases. It's all these things happening in your body. And this cocktail of endless toxic hormones, endless toxic chemicals can end up resulting in long-term illness. So it really emphasizes the importance of using a tool like tapping that is going to directly lower the cortisol level in your body, that is going to tell your amygdala it is safe. Whatever it is that you are thinking about, experiencing, feeling in that moment when you are tapping, that clinical sequence is telling your amygdala that it's safe. So I just wanted to share that and just say, what you're doing today is amazing self-care on a mind and a body and an emotional level. And even though things might be stressful and it might be hard, taking that time, that intentional time for yourself to actually lower that stress response in your body is something that is actually a really big step. So well done for being here. Thank you. And we'll keep tapping again. All this stress, all my stress, all this stress my body feels, this response that my body is having. Just as we tap on the collarbone, I just want you to think how you experience your stress. When you're in a constant chronic state, does your heart race? Do you sweat? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you lose your appetite? Are you stress eating? What is your body doing? This response my body has, moving back around. This response that my body has. So much stress. So much stress in my body. So much stress in my body. All this stress. It's just too much. Too much daily stress. All my stress. Daily in my body. My body feels my stress. I feel my stress. I can feel what it's doing to me. Maybe I can even feel it now. Just tuning into your body for a moment and allowing a deep breath to come in right down into your diaphragm. These feelings in my body, these feelings that I have, these feelings in my body may be uncomfortable, might not feel very good for me, but I am safe. I am safe to feel these feelings. My body wants to protect me. It thinks that I have some sort of danger to run away from. So it's doing what it should do. if I had danger to run away from. My body is trying to protect me. Okay. Just taking another deep breath. Just knowing if you do have any discomfort in your body, we don't want to fight it. We don't want to fear it. We just want to sit with it because it will pass. And as we continue to tap, it will continue to pass. Now, for anybody who has been with me before, you will know that we talk about tabletops and table legs. And if you can imagine that your stress, okay, is the tabletop, and you have all these things. So the stress that you're feeling is the tabletop, and all these things that you've written down at the beginning of this session, all the things for you, they're all the legs. Okay, you might have one leg, you might have 50, 100 legs. They're all the legs. And the legs, the events, the situations, the things that were said or done to you, the meanings that you have given every one of these events, this is where we want to do the work. Okay, this is where the table starts to be collapsed and the stress starts to have less of an impact on you. So heading back up to your eyebrow now, these thoughts that come to me, these things that happen to me, the things that cause my stress, the things I feel in my body, the things that go through my head, all the memories, all the thoughts, always retelling a story, all the activities that activate my stress response again and again and again and again. All this stress in my body, all my thoughts, all my memories, the endless stress. Feels like there is no end in sight for my stress. I can't imagine not having it in my life. I can't imagine not feeling it. I say that I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel all this stress. But maybe part of me might be afraid. In the back of my mind, this fear of what my life might be like if I didn't experience this stress. Because maybe I've known this for a really long time. Maybe this response has been trying to keep me safe for a very long time. And it's like a friend that hangs around even when I don't want it to. The old comfortable feelings that hang around even when I say I don't like it. All this stress, all these stressful feelings, I just want them to stop. I want the stress to stop. But how do I make it stop? All the things that have happened in my past, all the things I worry about the future, all the things that have happened to me each and every day that I live with, that I deal with, all these stressful things. the fear of things that I don't even know, things that I'm afraid of, triggering this fear response, triggering fearful thoughts, triggering fearful memories, things that have happened, all those things that did happen, that instead of accepting, I worry about. I worry about them now. I worry about what might happen. Things that did happen, things that haven't happened yet. All these worrying thoughts. All these worrying thoughts. All these things in my head causing me stress, fearful thoughts from my past, now projected into my future, my past memories projected into my future as something that I have to fear. All my worrying thoughts, my fearful thoughts, my memories, they all trigger my body. My brain now says there's a threat. My body keeps me safe with stress. So all my worries about the future, about what might happen, worrying about things that may not ever happen, things that I have no control over. Why might I want to control something? Does control keep me safe? What is it that I'm really worrying about? All these worries, all my worries, all the things I worry about, in my control and out of my control, over and over again. Okay, taking a deep breath, and you might want to do a big shake. Just noticing if you had any specific memories or anything that was really lingering around for you. I would jot those things down, and once you jump off this call, jump into those and tap, because if it has surfaced specifically and it doesn't want to let go today, it wants to be dealt with today, if you feel safe enough to do that. So let's stop tapping again for a second, and we'll just do another quick check-in back to our original question. When you think about your stress level for today, sitting on your 0 to 10, you might have come down, you might be down at a 1 or a 0, you might have gone up after thinking about the things that have been keeping your stress up, and that's okay. And I want you to have a think about now, what would happen if you did not have stress in your life? And of course, we're all going to have some element of healthy stress. You know, we need that if we want to run a race or meet a deadline or escape from a fire or something that's actually life-threatening. We need a level of healthy stress. But this stress, the way it's impacting you now, what would happen? And I'd like you to actually take your journal and use this moment to give yourself permission to create another pathway in your mind. Explore the possibility, even if it feels like a fairy tale right now. Even if it feels like some magical Disney story that hasn't happened. I want you to write it down. What would be different in your life if you did not have the level of stress that you have now? How would your interactions with your family, with your friends be different? How would you be feeling internally? Are there things you'd be going out and doing that you're maybe not doing now? Would you be having different reactions, different responses? Would your workplace be different? Just really give yourself permission. What would I be doing? If you could or you would, stop repeating the pattern of thought that brings on your stress response. What would be different for you? Now, as I pose this question, I acknowledge that this is a touchy question for some people, and that's okay. I actually really like things that are not trigger. I don't like triggering people. I like things that challenge people and things that maybe make people feel a little, oh, excuse me, I think you just directed that comment right to me. You saw right into my soul there, because that's really fantastic awareness. What is there anything that having stress in your life helps you to avoid? And I know that might sound like an unusual question, but sometimes when we get so used to living in a place of stress, or we have these patterns of behavior, there's actually something that our mind feels is quite a positive reason to keep a hold of it. And maybe it is for protection. Maybe we hold on to the stress or the trauma or the memory or the whatever it is because our mind wants to protect us. Maybe we hold on to it because it's become a part of our story. Or we like the fact that people help us when we are in a state of stress, or I don't know, whatever it is for you. Whatever it is for you. And as I said, this is not anything that is blaming. There is no wrong to this. But often the behaviors and the patterns that we dislike the most, the things that are causing us the most discomfort, there is some perception of positivity, some perception of a good reason to keep it around. And that might be subconscious. Maybe it feels safer for you to stay in this state of stress than it does for you to actually allow yourself to feel a state of joy or a state of calm. You know, the hormones that come through our body, we have receptors on the end of our cells that are receptible to these hormones. And just like alcohol or a drug, these receptors take in a certain amount of this chemical, this hormone, and then they become accustomed to that amount and they want more. So then they actually adjust to take in more of it. And then that amount isn't enough, so they want more. And it is actually an addiction going on in your body. So if you have been living in a state of stress for a long time, and logically you're going, I don't want to be here, but your body is finding reasons for you to be stressed, that's because when those cells are craving those chemicals, a message is sent up through your vagus nerve, up to your brain to say, hey, I need this chemical. And you're going to be looking for things that might actually stress you because of that. Not consciously. And that's a big thing. So what might stress help you to avoid in your life? Does it mean you do get more help from your family around the house? Does it mean every now and again you get to leave the kids and have a break? Does it bring attention? What does stress? What is a positive reason? And if you can't think of something right now, that's okay. Your logical mind might be going, are you kidding me? There's no positive reason I want to keep this stress around. And that's okay if that's what it's saying to you now. But again, even if it just comes back to safety or comfort in the sense that you've lived in this space for so long, that your body is addicted to those chemicals, and our brain wants the shortest, easiest route. Our brain is lazy. It wants the shortest, easiest route to get through our day to keep you safe. And the shortest, easiest way is to stay on the path you're on. It is to keep doing the things that you know. And there is a really great power that you will feel by acknowledging these things and by noticing, oh, okay, maybe that is actually something that I thought might have been keeping me safe, but I am safe and I am okay without it. Because ultimately my goal is to let go of the stress. So just coming back to the tapping now. What do I get out of having stress? What might I get to avoid? What might I get in terms of help? What might I get from my family or my friends? What do I get from being stressed? Why would I get something when it feels so bad? To even think like this, but maybe I do gain something. Maybe. Maybe I do get something. Maybe I do get something out of being stressed. But it feels bad to even think like that. Or even, just to say it out loud. I just thought it was a response to all the things that are coming at me each and every day. Because there's so much coming at me. And I never looked any deeper. I never thought about it like this. Other than that it happens every day. And I'm tired. Because stress makes me tired. Makes me exhausted. It affects my day. Every day. The quality of my life. All this stress. I'm tired, but I want to let it go. All this stress. All this stress. Just pausing there. I'm just going to mute while I cough 1 moment. Pardon me, it's that post-COVID tickle. Lasted about 6 weeks for me, maybe 8. It's been a while. All this stress, all the thoughts. What could I do differently? Especially when I know it's not my fault. So what could I change? What could I do differently? How could I take back some of my personal power to overcome this stress? How could I make changes? What would it need to look like? Would I need loads of courage? Would I have to change everything that I know? Will I have to set some pretty strong boundaries? Ugh, boundaries. What will happen to all the things? All the things I have to do. My stress won't just go away. Won't change overnight. But I can make little changes. I can get awareness of these thoughts that I have. The ones that I roll over and over about. The ones I worry about. The conversations I have every day of how much I have to do. Still have to do it. But I could change what I say about it. It's my thoughts and repeated story and repeated worry that's causing this in my body. And I can change my thoughts. I can tap every day when a thought comes up. Could do some tapping. I could change my thoughts, acknowledge them, thank them, and send them on their way. I could acknowledge that I have a lot to get through, but maybe just change the words, change the way I speak about it. I could acknowledge that I am busy without the repeated story that I have so much going on that I'm not able to get through it, that I can't get through it, that I have too much on my plate, and stop those conversations. I can stop them in my head. I can stop them to others. I can stop them to myself. I can focus on how capable I am and acknowledge and be proud of the fact that I always manage to get it done. Even if it's messy and even if it's imperfect. And I'm ready to not feel exhausted anymore. I'm ready to manage the stress, all the stress coming at me, the stress in my body, the stress in my mind. I'm ready to let it go because it's not working for me. Thinks it's keeping me safe. But right now, it's not really keeping me stuck in a pattern that I really don't like, in a pattern that I'd like to change. Maybe I will change it. Baby step by baby step. One day at a time. Less telling myself that I'm not good enough. Less telling myself that I can't do anything about it. That I'm not able. That I'm overwhelmed. Today, I will just say it less. Today, I will say that I can. Yes, I do have lots to do. But I remind myself how capable I am. And my baby step might look like, just for today, saying I can and I will. And tomorrow, I will say my story again less. And even less the next day. and the day after that. Baby steps. One less negative conversation with myself every day. One less conversation about overwhelm and not being capable and not being good enough. And one more day of saying, I can and I will. I am capable. I am good enough. I am able. I am enough. Taking a deep breath, shaking out what you need to shake out. Let's have another sip of water so my cough doesn't come back. I hope you're feeling some energy start to shift within your body. I want you to have a think about now where you're putting your focus. And again, this is a very we're not going deep into your stress and your issues, and there are going to be things that you do have to deal with. But when we tend to focus on the stress, it's like when you play Spotto with a child, with the yellow car, and all of a sudden you didn't realize how many people actually drove yellow cars because you're actively looking for yellow cars. When your mind is consumed by the stress, and that is where your focus is going, and you're often not aware that that is happening when you're in it, but now you are aware because you're here and you're watching this. When you're focusing on that, you are going to get more of it, and it is going to keep your focus and keep you in that thought cycle process of, I'm thinking about my stress, it gives me these bad emotions, I keep myself in the stress cycle because the bad emotions must mean there's danger or must mean there's something I don't like. So what might happen for you, could some of your stress, not all of it, as I said, we can't make the things just magically disappear, and I'd love to know if you do find a magic wand that does that, by the way, but we can't magically disappear your problems. But I'm just wondering, could you just ask yourself, could a little bit of my stress be relieved, especially the bits of it that is just turning around in my head, not within my control? Could it be relieved by a shift in my focus? Back to tapping. Could moving beyond my stress be supported by something simple, like changing my focus? Could I really work on changing where I put my focus? Can I really change where I put my attention? Is it possible that some of my stress could be relieved by changing my focus? What can I choose to do differently? What can I do to help myself? Am I ready to release the hold I have? Am I ready to make other choices? Am I ready to take that step into thinking that maybe I could have it differently? Part of me might not be sure yet because I don't know what that looks like. I'm not sure, but I am curious about what I could consider about what might be there beyond the stress that I carry around. Could I really be able to move my stress around? To see a glimmer of hope, to see some light at the end of my own tunnel. Could I really be able to have my life differently? Is it possible? Could I try to look at different ways to make this change in my life? Could I really do this? Is this possible for me? I've had the stress for so long. I can't remember not having it. Can't remember when it wasn't a part of who I am. I can't remember when I wasn't feeling stressed about something or someone. And I'm just going to cough again. I'm going to mute. Apologies about that. It's relentless when I'm speaking. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to give it some focus. I'm willing to see what I can change, what I can do that might be different to what I have been doing. I'm willing to try and focus somewhere else, to look at the things that I could do differently, to think that I can, to think that just maybe I can look at these issues and give myself some space from them. Taking a deep breath. I'm sure you've experienced daily stress is debilitating. And sometimes it's an issue that you can work through on your own, and sometimes we need specialized help. I know I worked with a brilliant practitioner to help me move through what I needed to move through. And depending on the depth of it, the severity of it, and the effects that it is having on your life as well, will depend on how easily it can be moved through and how long it might take you to do that. Stress can be affected by medications, diet, lifestyle, environmental circumstances, thoughts, identity patterns. And I know everybody here today taps already, and I know you really lean in on tapping, but just if anyone watches this at a later point, just making tapping a part of your daily ritual, 5-10 minutes here and there, or a scheduled time each day when you feel triggered, when you're noticing the trigger come up, those are the things that are going to help you to move forward. Tapping in the moments where you are stressed, where you are heightened, where you're not feeling good, that's going to bring you back down. Tapping on the triggers is where you're going to be able to release and let go as you move forward. But just being mindful that sometimes our mind, again, will keep us safe. We're wired for safety, and our own mind may only let us go so far. So when you're looking at your table legs, your brain may not let you go to certain places, and that's okay. 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 Are you feeling okay, Vanessa?
Can I talk on this? Or?
Yes, please do. Yeah. Would you like me to pause the recording?
Yeah, that would be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, let's finish up with our positive tapping. So up to our eyebrow, I am at choice. I am at choice. I am aware. I am having fun again. Playing small is not even in my vocabulary anymore. Because I am at choice in every moment. I am always at choice. It's safe to change. It's safe to look at the past. It is safe to look at everything that has happened because it is not happening now. Feeling safe now. Feeling safe and grounded now. Feeling so safe and grounded in my body. I am safe in my body. Choose to feel present now. Feeling present and grounded. Feeling more and more present. Choosing to feel grounded in my body. Choosing safety. Choosing love. Choosing me. Feeling safe. Choosing me. Okay. Thank you very much for attending today. I hope that you got something out of this. If you have any questions, if you would like to have any one-on-one chats, I'll just pop a link in here to my booking. I should have had this ready to drop in. I do offer a complimentary 20-minute chat to see what's going on for you and if there's anything I can do to help that situation. So if you want to have a chat at all, please feel free to reach out to me. There is our next tapping circle is calming anxiety, and it is on the, let me get the date right, it's a Wednesday, and it is the 14th of September at 7:30 p.m, which is Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to join that one, you'll be sent a rebooking link with also a offer to come for $5 off if you're rebooking. So love to see you guys again on Wednesday the 14th. And just, yeah, let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything at all that you want to have a chat about. Thank you. It was lovely to meet you, Michelle. Thank you for your beautiful contribution and for being here. And Vanessa, I'll give you a call in about an hour. Thank you. Bye, guys.